You ready? All right, good afternoon. We're live here at Aztec, New Mexico, and it's the first round of the state playoffs to head on down to Albuquerque. It's going to be the Lady Aztec Tigers who received the 4th seed and got the availability to host this tournament. They're number 4 seed, 16-11 on the season, 9-1 district champs, and they're taking on the visiting team. It's the Albuquerque Academy Lady Chargers, and the Lady Chargers come in the 13 seed. They're 15-9 on the season, 6-2 in district. They won district, Stephen. We've been excited.
For a couple of weeks now, we knew we were going to get to do these games, and we knew Aztec would be playing. We found out, obviously, on Sunday that they'd be playing at 6, but we are excited to go. It looks like we are going to go ahead and do the national anthem, so we'll pause for a brief moment, and we'll be right back.
Well, there you have it. No better way to start off a game, Stephen. We'll get the starting lineup called out for the Albuquerque Academy Lady Chargers. Leading off, number 8, it's Sydney Karani. Hitting in the 2 spot, number 10, Sam Walker. Hitting third is number 28, Bella Swanson. Hitting cleanup is number 1, Melissa Priscilla. Hitting 5th is number 5, Brooke Dominguez. Hitting 6th, number 12 is Addie Spratley. And hitting 7th, number 13, Kalia Hesseron, I believe is how you say that. Forgive me if we are mispronouncing that. Hitting 8th, number 18, Lillian. Number 11, Grace Nose.
All right, and defensively for the Aztec Lady Tigers today, out Kimora Henry behind the dish is going to be number 2, Cami Lucio. Over at first base, number 24, Casey Phillips. At second base is going to be number 20, Cheyenne Yellow. Over at third base, number 44, Christina Whitehorse, and at shortstop is number 9, Alexan Candelaria. Out in the outfield, left field, we have 00, Madeline Kaiser. In center field, we have number 10, Reagan Bradshaw, and out in right field, number 21, Kiana Justice.
Well, coming up for Albuquerque Academy is going to be number 8. She is the catcher. It's Sydney Karani, and she's an excellent hitter for the Lady Chargers. Stephen, she comes into this game hitting .439 with 4 doubles. She leads the team in doubles, so a very dangerous hitter with this young lady. She's going to be facing the right-handed pitcher, and Kimora Henry.
Yep, and folks, if you're out there watching, we're putting this game out on NFHS Network, at Desert Sports Live on YouTube, and on our website, www.desertsportslive.com. Hope you guys enjoy the camera views. Here comes the first pitch from Henry, and that one's going to be in there for strike 1.
Just painted the outer half of the corner on the right-handed hitter in Sydney. Nice placement on her pitches, Henry, and she likes to work that outer half of the plate, no doubt about it. Here comes the pitch up high outside for ball 1.
Got our production crew here today, Ben O'Gean and Brody Sagata is running cameras for the first time for us. So
we're going to blame him.
Comes the pitch, going to be fouled off for strike 2. 1-2 the count now to Sydney Karani. The catcher for the Albuquerque Academy Chargers, they got here just a couple hours before game time, had to make that trip from Albuquerque. So they had to get off the bus and warm up pretty quick and then get out here on the field. Here comes the pitch from Kimura. It'll be high for ball 2. 2-2 the count now to Sydney Karani.
Very patient hitter, and you don't put a hitter in the leadoff spot who's not afraid to get deep into the count. Sydney right here working this count to 2-2, doing her job as a leadoff hitter perfectly thus far. Look at that. Drives the count to full count, so you don't think her teammates appreciate her going deep into this count, getting to see a lot of different pitches from Henry.
Yeah, I mean, that was a good rise ball. It looked like she might take a swing at it, but she holds up. Here comes the 3-2 pitch right across the center of the plate, and she hits it in between first and second, and that will be he will head down to first base, and that's what you want your leadoff hitter to do, is get you started. So nice job by Sydney. Next up is number 10, Sam Walker, the center fielder.
Another dangerous hitter at the plate, hitting .354 on the season, 13 RBIs. She's in third place with 13 RBIs for her team. She's got a little bit of power, too, has a home run on the season. And we're in the top of the first inning. There's an outside fastball swung on and fouled off by Walker to take the count to 0-1. So leadoff hitter taking the count to full, does her job, allows her teammates to see a ton of pitches. Let's see how it may help Walker out, as we know how dominant Kamara Henry has been this season for the Tigers. Here comes a pitch, and it was off speed, and that definitely slipped out of her hand. There's a throw down to second, and the catcher in Lucio did the best job she could, Steven, to try to make an attempt at the runner down in second, just didn't have enough time.
Well, and I mean, if she doesn't mishandle that ball, that's going to be a play at second base. I mean, she couldn't find it. She got it out there, but it was just a little late. So that'll put Sydney on second base. Runner in scoring position. Here comes the pitch, and that's swung on and missed for strike 2. So 1-2 the count now to Sam Walker, as Albuquerque Academy trying to get things started here in this top of the first inning.
Henry with the pitch, swung on and fouled off, as she's really working that outer half of the corner with her pitches. And, you know, we got to see Henry and Lucio get some bullpen work yesterday while we were setting up, and they're just really dialed in. They were excited for this game, and it's glad to see. It's been almost 2 weeks since they've been out here, Steven. Again, there's a pitch on the outer half of the plate, and Walker just hanging in there tough. She's got a runner at second base as the leadoff hitter in Sydney Karani was able to get a base hit at her first at-bat. She is battling Henry right here. She's a 1-2 count. Let's see if she tries to jam her up on this pitch.
Yeah, you're right. They were talking about that yesterday. They've had 2 weeks of really good practice, but these ladies were ready to get out on the field and play a game. We saw them taking some live action yesterday. They were getting prepared. Ooh, that one's inside. Man, that looked good. So that's going to ring her up. Yeah, I was going to say.
Man, she made me look like a genius, didn't she? Threw that right on the inner half of the plate, inside the hands on the two-spot hitter and the center fielder, and Sam Walker struck her out for the first out of the game. Stepping in as the three-spot hitter, it's number 28, Bella Swanson. She's the shortstop for Albuquerque Academy, and she can absolutely crush. She's hitting .566 for this team, 17 RBIs, in second place with RBIs, 1 home run, 3 doubles. This young lady can crush.
I guess that's why she's hitting in this 3 spot. So here comes the
No
pitch,
doubt.
inside corner. She'll foul that one off for strike 1. So 1-1 the count. And yeah, these umpires have been consistent all season calling that inside corner and the outside corner. So if it's anywhere close, you better be swinging, as Swanson will step back into the batter's box. Kamora Henry will get her pitch. And here's the windup. Swung on and missed for strike 2. Nice looking pitch from Henry.
Big swing by Swanson, trying to give her team an early 2-0 lead if she makes contact, but Henry threw that right by her, but she wasn't too far off of the timing. Here comes a pitch, fastball again, inner half of the plate, off the hands, struck her out for out number 2.
So nice set of pitches there for Kamora Henry, as she will take down another batter, and that will bring up number 1, Melissa Persilla, as she still has a runner on second, so in scoring position. So like I said, with a runner on second and 2 outs now, Melissa Priscilla, the pitcher, will step into the box, see if she can't keep this thing going here in the top of the first inning. Here comes the pitch for Kimura Henry. Oh, that was right down Main Street, as Albert would say, for strike one.
This young lady can crush. The best hitter on the team, hitting .645 on the season, 40 hits, 55 RBIs, 9 home runs. Swings and misses, takes the count to 0-2, but numbers like that, Steven, that puts you in the running for Gatorade Player of the Year.
Yeah, that is some pretty good stats, but I think Henry is going to have something to say about that. That was a nice-looking pitch, got her swinging. Here comes the next one. Ooh, she's trying to get that outside corner, just misses it for ball one. So 1-2 the count with Karani over there on second base as she picked up that single earlier in the inning. Here comes the pitch. That one's high and outside for ball two.
Well, they definitely are just taking a cautious approach. If they can get her to chase one, great. If they can't, they're keeping it way out of her zone, and it's smart. .645 on the season. This girl can hit. So here comes Henry. Outside, painted it, and got her. And you're going to have to get used to that, ladies, on both sides, because that will be called all game long.
Yep, I have a feeling it will as well. So there is no runs on one hit, one runner left on base, and no Aztec errors. And that's going to do it for the top of the first. The score remains 0-0. First attempt on offense, as it will be 1, 2, and 3. Alexin Candelaria, Cheyenne Yellow, and Reagan Bradshaw coming up for the Tigers. And out in the circle, we'll have Melissa Priscilla. So we'll go over, do you want to go over the batting lineup?
Yep.
Go ahead, sorry.
Yep, leading off for the Tigers, number 9, Alexin Candelaria. Hitting second, number 20, Cheyenne Yellow. Hitting third, number 10, Regan Bradshaw. Hitting fourth is number 8, Kimura Henry. And hitting fifth, number 24, Casey Phillips. Hitting sixth, number 2, Cami Lucio. And hitting seventh is 00, Madeline, is it Madeline?
Madeline Kaiser.
Madeline Kaiser, pardon me. Number 44, Christina Whitehorse, hitting 8th, and hitting 9th is Keanu Justice.
And defensively for the Academy Chargers, it is going to be Melissa Priscilla, number 1, out in the circle. Behind the dish is going to be, oh, sorry, I was looking at something else here. Sydney Karani. Over at first base is going to be number 5, Brooke Dominguez. Over at second base is going to be number 18, Liliana Lafata. And at third base is going to be number 14, Cecilia Hesserun. At shortstop is going to be number 28, Bella Swanson. Out in left field is going to be number 12, Addie Spratley. Center field, number 10, Sam Walker. And right field, number 11, Grace Naus. I think that's how we're saying that, correct?
Yep, we're hoping that is correct. So forgive us if it is not, folks. But
that segues us into send us a text, right?
That's right. That's right. Pitching on the mound, as Steven mentioned, is Melissa Priscilla, and she is quite the pitcher. She's got a .313 ERA on the season. 12-4 is her win record, so very competent pitcher here. Leading off with a base hit, not wasting any time, is Alexin Candelaria, and she gets leaded off. So Albuquerque Academy with their leadoff hitter starts off with a base hit out into right field, and now so does Aztec.
Well, and this is just typical Aztec right here. You're going to see all of these hitters. They're going to be a slate, and they are going to be swinging at the good pitches. So here comes the next pitch, and there you go, fouled off. 2 pitches and 2 swings. So Aztec's going to come out being aggressive, going right after this pitcher, as they now have a runner on first, no outs. Bottom of the first inning, score is 0-0. Comes the pitch, inside corner, and she's going to take, just goes foul. Cheyenne Yellow hit that one off the handle of the bat, it sounded like, anyway.
Yeah, she nubbed it right off the end of the bat. That's how you got that weird sound. But Yellow crushing the ball this season, hitting .543 on the season. 4 home runs, 29 RBIs, 14 doubles. She's a dangerous hitter. These teams well matched back and forth offensively for sure. Here comes a fastball down low. There, takes off to second. There's a slide, and the tag was missed. A little late, and Candelaria gets a stolen base. So just like Albuquerque Academy, base hit to right field, and then leadoff hitter still second. Now Candelaria tips her hat the same way.
Is that a ball? I'm assuming that was a ball.
I think they called it strike.
I thought she already had 2 strikes. Maybe okay.
Ground ball to third base, fielded out front. Here's the throw across the diamond. In time, got her, but that'll move the runner and Candelaria to third. Yellow doing her job. They had to move her over. Now a deep fly ball or a ground ball scores her from third.
Yep, so number 10, Reagan Bradshaw, center fielder, coming up to the plate. And she has been ready to play for 2 weeks. One of the seniors, we had her on hot mic, and she was excited to play this game. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, that one is high and inside for ball one.
Well, Bradshaw, an electrifying player. She's hitting almost 500 on the season, 35 RBI, 7 home runs. Yet again, this young lady can absolutely hit at the plate. They're keeping it down low and inside, so really back-to-back pitches, staying completely out of the strike zone inside on the inner half of the plate. 2-0 the count.
One of these girls hits on Aztec, and that one's going to go off the handle. That'll be fouled off for strike one. But like I was saying, you can do a scouting report, and it's going to be hard to find anything to get past. Called a couple of their games, and just every one of them comes out and hits the ball.
And they played some very tough non-district games. Just for games like this, there's a foul ball as hands on the inner half of the plate, but not only that, she's bringing the rise ball up on the hands, and you hit it off the handle. That brings a lot of ground balls to your third baseman. So keep an eye out for that as it's a 2-2 count, and here comes Priscilla winding up. And here's a pitch. Fastball down low, almost Bradshaw, but I like her attitude about it, Steven. She did not move out of the way.
Yep, she just lifted that back foot and kind of stood in there. Out here in the bottom of the first inning, Aztec knocking on the door. Here comes the pitch, and that's going to be ball 4 as Reagan will head down to first, and that will bring up number 8, Kimura Henry. Give us some stats on Kimura.
Yeah, Henry not only defensively a big-time player, offensively she's just as good. Henry hitting .425 on the season, 30 RBIs, 5 home runs. She can, no doubt about it. And she's going to take straight steal to second. There's the tag, and they just cut it off, trying to see if the runner from third would take off. So Bradshaw easily still second. So now Aztec really in business with the 1-0 count on Henry. She's got an opportunity to give Aztec a pretty nice lead here if she can get a hold of one. Ooh. And you're not going to see a better pitch than that. I can promise you that.
That one was right where it needed to be. So 1-1 the count to Kimura Henry now. She has runners on second and third, 1 out. Here comes the pitch. She will hit that one. Oh, and that's going to be a run scored. Is that an E5 or is that a base hit? I think that's a base hit,
That's
right?
going to be a base hit without a doubt.
Yeah, so nice job. She gets the RBI single. It was kind of a little dinker, but she'll take it, as that will put a run up on the board for the Tigers. And that will put Reagan Bradshaw over at third and Henry at first. Next up, number 24, Casey Phillips.
Phillips hitting .459 on the season, 20 RBIs, 4 home runs. So again, this young lady can crush as well. We got a courtesy runner in.
Is that Douglas?
That's number 29, it is.
I think that's, I can't remember her first name, but I'm pretty sure that's JC, what is it? J.C. Douglas, sorry.
J.C. Douglas, yep, there it is. J.C. Douglas in the game now. She's got a ton of speed. There again, a fastball on the inner half of the plate on Phillips, and she fouls it off. Again, did you notice how she's elevating that pitch right off the hands? And unless you get your hands started faster and get your barrel around, you're going to be hitting that off the hands all night long.
Oh, she went down to get that one and fouls that one off. So 0-2 the count now to Casey Phillips. That's going to give Priscilla some waste pitches here. Let's see if she tries to get her swing at something close on this next pitch, or if she just attacks the batter.
Well, if you noticed on that pitch, both battling off here again, and all 3 pitches that Phillips has seen have been high fastballs off the hand. And, Priscilla, she's very, very aggressive on the inner half. Not afraid to go inside. They're down low, ground ball right back to the pitcher. It's going to score another run, and that's going to push Douglas from first to second. It'll score Bradshaw, and Aztec will take a 2-0 lead, out number 2.
And that will bring up number 2, Cami Lucio. And if there's anybody that can crush one over the fence, it is this young lady, freshman here for the Aztec Tigers, place catcher. She has a runner in scoring position over at second as J.C. Douglas. She's going to be high and inside for ball 1. J.C. Douglas standing over there on second.
Well, Cami Lucio hitting .364 for the Lady Tigers, 32 RBI, so she knows how to score runs, and she can crush. She's got 5 home runs on the season. Here comes a high fastball, and we see the baseball players sure like to take a hack at that high pitch. She's able to hold off, and that just showed. We were watching Cami catch yesterday in practice. She is such an impressive player. She worked so hard when they were working bullpen. Off-speed pitch on the lower half of the strike zone, certainly in there for strike 1, so 2-1 the count on Lucio. But, gosh, I mean, she took every catch that she took from Henry serious. She posted up in the strike zone for an umpire. I loved how she approached practice yesterday.
Oh, a swing and a miss for strike 2, so 2-2 the count to Cami Lucio. Yeah, you're right. We were watching her. She takes it serious all the time, but no surprise with a mom like hers that's helping coach. They get after it at practice. So 2-2 the count now. Here comes the pitch. She's going to pop that one up high in the air. Should be an F1, and it will be. So that'll be F1 for out number 3, but not before there was 2 runs on 2 hits. 1 runner left on base and no Academy errors. So after 1 complete inning, your score is 2-0. The Aztec Lady Tigers in the lead.
Yep. So. For Academy coming up, it's going to be 5, 6, and 7. Dominguez, Spratley, and Hassaron all coming up to bat for Albuquerque Academy, who trailed this game 2-0. And so we just got a text coming in that Pedro Vista won. The Pedro Vista baseball team, that is, just beat Sandia Matadors 2-1 down in Albuquerque. So they got 1 more game to win to move on to Albuquerque. It's the best 2 out of 3 series for the Pedro Vista Panthers. We heard that Farmington baseball lost earlier today, and I believe they lost to Rio Rancho, right? And Bloomfield High School Bloomfield baseball, that is, fixing to get started at 7. Kirtland Central boys, Kirtland Central girls, all playing today as well.
And folks, if you're out there watching or tuning in or listening or whatever you're doing, send us a text, 505-701-2222, and let us know who you're cheering for, where you're cheering from, and we will give you guys a shout-out on the air. So send in a text, or even on YouTube. We're watching the chat on YouTube. Send us a message there. These players love to go back and watch and listen, and they can hear their shout-outs on the air that their fans are out there cheering and watching. So please send us a text, 505-701-2222, or go on YouTube and send us a chat. And that one is going to hit the outside corner for strike 1 as Henry gets started early. We have number 5, Brooke Dominguez, the first baseman, up at the plate now for the Chargers.
She's hitting .343 on the season, 15 RBIs, has a home run as well. So off pitch inside for ball 1, 1-1 the count. Is it 2 strikes? I thought it was.
I have 1-1 is what I have, but.
Well, you were right.
Oh,
she
you
did
guys
have
were
2
right.
strikes,
Wow.
so we got to
Good
pay
call.
attention over here, huh, Steven?
Good thing our production crew is paying attention. I thought that one was low and he called a ball, but he called us.
Well, we will, boys. Promise.
We have the umpire that likes to do a slow strike count, and so
That's
we look
right.
down at the books. We got excuses over here.
Now batting in the 6th spot, number 12, Addie Spratley. She's the left fielder for the Lady Chargers. Here comes a pitch, ground ball to first. Oh, right off the glove of the first baseman. And that is going to be, well, she dove at it, stuck her glove out there, so I think it's going to be E3 for sure.
Yeah, she just, man, if she makes that play, she had to try to backhand it. It was coming quick. If she makes that play, that's going to be an easy out over at first, but it goes off of her glove. That will bring up number 14, Cecilia Hesserin.
Well, Hesserin this season for Albuquerque Academy, she's hitting .242, 21 RBI, so She'll look at ball one. They have a runner at first base after the error from the first baseman for Aztec. There's a big swing fouled off way behind the fastball, but it's a 1-1 count. And you just got to love how you see both of these pitchers on both sides approach the plate. You know, Aztec leads this game 2-0, but Priscilla for Albuquerque Academy was very strong attacking the strike zone. You see the same thing from Henry for Aztec, just attacking every bit of the strike zone, and that was in there on the bottom half of the strike zone for strike two. So both pitchers figuring out the lower half of the strike zone.
Man, and he is calling it down there for sure. A couple of them have looked low to me, but he's calling them a strike. And there's a swing and a miss for strike three out, number two. And that'll bring up number 18, Liliana Lafada. And, man, Miyamura Henry getting it done today as she already has 5 strikeouts. So she had, with 2 outs and a runner on first now in the top of the second. Here comes the pitch, swung on and missed for strike one.
Lafada hitting .259 on the season, 11 RBIs in the lineup for the Lady Chargers, and she's down early already, 0-1. Big-time off-speed pitch. They're trying a protective swing, missed it, 0-2. This is where Henry is very live in the count, 0-2. She really likes to attack the outer half. Her hand for sure, because that was way outside.
Yeah, she knew that one was not the pitch she was looking for.
Yeah, you can see her giggling about it. Darn it, she says. 1-2. Here's a pitch. Swung on and missed and strikes out the side.
Well, that's going to do it. No runs on no hits. 1 runner left on base and 1 Aztec error. So after the top of the second is complete, the score remains 2-0. Aztec in the lead.
It's going to be 7, 8, and 9. Kaiser, White Horse, and Justice all kind of who lead this game 2-0. Again, haven't got any text messages or any message on YouTube or nothing.
Hey, and we want you to know we can see that there's people out there watching. So come on, send us some text messages. Let us know that that you're out there and who you're cheering for and where you're cheering from. Send us a text message so we can give you guys, give your players a shout out, give you a shout out on the air. So send us some text messages, please.
Yeah, we'd love it. And these girls, like we said, they can come back and watch this broadcast and see that you gave them a shout out. Trust me, these kids know it. We talked to all the teams earlier, so we told them they certainly can go back and check out this game. So it's a 2-0 lead for the home team, and the Aztec Tigers, the number 4 seed, taking on the number 13 seed, but district champ in Albuquerque Academy. So we're headed into the bottom of the second inning, and it's Madeline Kaiser, and Kaiser for the Lady Tigers. She is hitting .414 on the season, 17 home runs, 17 RBIs, 1 home run.
Yep, these Lady Tigers, I'm telling you that all the way through the lineup, these girls can hit. So here comes Priscilla with a pitch, and it'll go off the handle of the bat. Oh, and that's going to be E3 as it goes off of the first baseman's glove and puts Madeline Kaiser over at first base.
Yeah, tough break. Just got her glove down too late. And, I mean, that was hit pretty sharp from Kaiser. Now batting the third baseman, number 44, Christina Whitehorse. And Whitehorse hitting .306 for the Lady Tigers. 14 RBIs, 4 home runs. She was trying to get her 5th one right there. That was a huge swing and a miss for strike one.
She took a big swing at that pitch, but that was just a nice pitch by Priscilla.
It sure was.
Rose just right at the right time, didn't it?
I like Priscilla, the way she approaches the plate. Very tough, not afraid to throw any pitch. Look at that big swing. Just a long fly ball goes out of the, hit the top of the fence, but just a long strike.
Man, that was a nice hit, though.
And I do not believe that that's where Priscilla wanted to throw that pitch. That was about belt high. And on that time, Whitehorse got her hands around so fast. You know, if she would have waited a tick longer, that might have been out of here.
Yeah, she definitely got a hold of that one. But 0-2 the count. Runner on first, no outs. Here in the bottom of the second inning, Priscilla's going to bring the pitch. It's going to be low and inside. Oh, it is a strike, though. He's been calling that.
He has been consistent all day so far.
So that'll be a strike 3 out, number 1, and that'll bring up number 21, Kiana Justice.
And Justice hitting .328 on the season for the Lady Tigers, 11 RBI. So, making a late push is Kiana Justice at the plate for the Lady Tigers. And she's got a runner at first. There's a beautiful shot out into left field. That's going to be a base hit. Oh, they're going to push her to third as Albuquerque Academy a little tardy on getting the ball in the infield. And after the base hit from Justice to push Kaiser from first to third, Kaiser sleeping and slides into second safely. So now we find ourselves at the top side of the lineup, Steven, and Candelaria is already 1 for 1 for the Lady Tigers.
Well, I mean, that was just great field awareness by Kaiser as she turns second and makes her way over to third. Here comes the pitch, and that one's going to be fouled off. That'll be strike 1 for Alexin Candelaria, but you're right, she already is 1 for 1 on the day with a run scored. And against, and that's going to be hit by pitch.
Goodness, that one hurt. When you can hear it hit the shoulder from all the way in here, that did not feel well. And of course, Priscilla absolutely did not mean to hit the batter. Why would she? She's going to load the bases up, which the bases are loaded now, and it's number 20, Cheyenne Yellow, who's 0 for 1 in the game. She grounded out to the third baseman in the first inning, but Steven, we've seen this young lady at the plate. Yes. She can come through big time for Aztec at any given time. This young lady in yellow is a big-time ball player.
We saw her take one out over center field, the center field fence one game that we were here, so Priscilla's going to have to be pitching around her, because if you give Yellow the right pitch, she will take advantage of it. So here comes the pitch, and there it is.
That might be out of here. No.
It hit the fence, but that's going to score 2 runs, 3 runs. It's going to score. She's going to clear the bases, and she gets to third.
Wow, so 3 RBIs.
3 RBI double, and then gets over to third base.
Dude, Don't you love it when a player makes you sound so smart?
I know. She just made me feel good.
I just called it, did I not? She's a big-time hitter. She comes through in a big-time way and gives Aztec a 5-0 lead. 5-0 lead, and now Bradshaw comes up to the plate. Not officially charted a bat, and she'll look at strike 1, but what a great job by Yellow, Steven. We just never get tired of watching that young lady at the plate.
Well, and that's why I was saying that you've got to be careful. I mean, and Priscilla just put one perfect across the plate for her on that first pitch, and these Aztec Lady Tigers, they're swinging at almost every first pitch. And Cheyenne Yellow takes it. It looked like it was going to be a grand slam there for a second. That was going to be high and outside. It
sure did. It didn't. I thought it was out of here.
I mean, even the outfielder, it looked like she was just watching it go over the fence, hits the top of the fence. But nonetheless, she freaking cleared the bases and ends up on third. And now we have Reagan Bradshaw looking to see if she can drive in that next run. And there's a nice hit, and that will do it. She will bring Cheyenne Yellow in, and she's going to make her way to second. And the Aztec is absolutely taking advantage of Academy not getting the ball in very quick, aren't they?
They sure are. They're not, and unfortunately for Academy, I know this is not how they're coached, but you mentioned it, Steven. They're taking way too long to get the ball into the infield. And so, you're going to see Coach come out here and have a conversation, because that infield needs to get on their horse, that outfield needs to get on their horse and get the ball in the infield. These girls will steal all day long, will the Lady Tigers.
Well, I mean, that the one where Kaiser got over to third, that ball was hit out into left field, and she made her way from first all the way to third because they took so long to get the ball in. And if you're the coach of Academy, I mean, you're going to have some sort of discussion. You can't allow that to be happening. I mean, you got to get that ball in quick. And even right there, they allowed Bradshaw to get to second. That's the easiest throw to make right there, is to second base.
Fill the ball, get it into your cutoff, and get it in a hurry. Don't waste time. That's a high fastball in there for ball 1. And all the base hits that Aztec has had, has been a pitching spot that was missed by Priscilla right over the heart of the plate, belt high.
Oh, I thought she was taking off to third. That's going to be outside high for ball 2 to Kimora Henry. And, I mean.
Well, if anybody can steal third base, it's going to be Bradshaw, no doubt about it. That young lady is lightning fast.
Kimora Henry already 1 for 1 with an RBI. Oh, swung on and missed for strike 1. So 2-1 the count to Henry, as she's got a runner in scoring position over there at second. That's Reagan Bradshaw. Only 1 out here in the bottom of the second, and Aztec now leading 6-0. That's going to be high and outside for ball 3. Very patient hitter is Henry, and it's like you see these girls, they attack the first pitch, but then if they'll wait for that pitch, but they have very good eye for the ball.
Well, here is Priscilla with the 3-1 count, 1 out. Inside high fastball. Henry trying to get around on the pitch. The third baseman in Hessaron got over there. I thought she might have a chance to haul it in, but it went foul, so it takes the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. We got a timeout. The officials are going to have a conversation.
Oh, they're telling them to get back in the dugout. There's a girl sitting.
Are they talking to coach or? All right, so they're going to call timeout to get the.
Oh, that's the coach, huh?
I mean, I only see a coach sitting right there, but. Oh, okay. So the umpire, our production crew heard him, and we did it. They said they need to get a helmet on if they're going to be in the doorway. So high fastball in there for ball 4. So that'll send Henry right on down to first base. We should probably see a runner.
See Douglas come in to run.
There it is. So she comes out. Douglas does to courtesy run for the pitcher in Kimora Henry. There's 1 out, and Phillips comes up to the plate, and she is 0 for 1. But had a sacrifice to bring in the first score of the game. So
Aztec really getting rolling here in the bottom of the second. There's the pitch. Oh, and she crushes that right into center field, and that's going to score 1. And they're going to hold her up at third, Douglas. So that is an RBI single that's another RBI for Casey Phillips, as she ends up on first, and Reagan Bradshaw now on third. So great piece of hitting there by Casey Phillips, and now Cami Lucio with an opportunity to drive in another run or two. And here's another one that we've seen crush the ball over the fence like Cheyenne Yellow. So runners on first and second, 1 out. That one is on the outside corner for strike 1.
Well, you know what they always say, who should be your best hitter on your team, or at least in the top 2?
Yep.
Your catcher.
We talk about
that.
And
Lucio is certainly that. Again, I just love how aggressive Lucio is at the plate, right back to the. Oh, she dropped it. Did she drop the ball at second? I'm trying to see somebody make a call here.
He called her safe.
So she is safe.
So that's going to be
E6. Yep. Well, it's going to be
there's an E4.
It's going to be a fielder's choice, and then an E on the shortstop. But that'll score another run in Henry from third base, or excuse me, is it?
It was Bradshaw.
Bradshaw.
That was a strike. Oh, we've got back to the top of the lineup here, haven't we?
Batted all the way around, and so now it is Kaiser who is 0 for 1, but scored a run. She'll take a hack at a high fastball and will miss. 0-1 the count with 1 out and 2 runners on, as you got Phelps over at third. There's a ground ball to the second baseman, played very smart by the second baseman for Academy, Stephen, and that's Lafada, because they needed an out, and they needed an out bad. That was 4-3 ground ball, out number 2.
I'm glad you got all that. I was looking down at my book. Do we have, what's the score, 7, right?
It's 7-0, yep. And now we've got Phillips over at third, Lucio standing, or not. Yeah, it is Lucio. Is it Lucio?
Well, trying to see. Yeah, it's Lucio over at second. What happened
There you go. So we got Whitehorse up at the plate now. She'll take a hack swing on the inner half of the plate. And, oops, pardon me.
Well, what happened to Douglas? Where did Douglas go?
She came in for Henry.
Well, I have.
Third, Lucio.
Scoreboard people over here confused me. I saw 7 up there.
Fastball in there for strike 2. So 0-2 the count on a Whitehorse. So right here, this is a big pitch for Priscilla. She desperately needs to find a way to get White Horse out. And here comes the pitch. 2 runners on, high, and it goes to the backstop. We're going to have a play at home. And she slid it. Oh.
Wow.
He called her out.
He did call her out. I thought she made it.
Her foot was across
when
the
she hit the
base
glove,
first, and then she tagged her out. But you know what? We'll leave it at that.
So that'll be 2-1 out number 3. So that is 5 runs. I mean, I got to get all this down here. Let's see. I had 4, but let's see. 1, 2.
Well, while Steven's figuring that out, that for the Tigers, 9-1-2. Excuse me, for Albuquerque Academy, 9-1-2. Now, Noose and Karani Walker all coming up for Albuquerque Academy.
So I'm all confused here, but I had 3 runs. I have 3 runs on, or sorry, 4 runs on 5. No, 5 runs
on 4 hits.
On 4 hits. So 1 runner left on base. And 2.
That was a long inning.
I had to figure all that out. Sorry about that, folks. Once again, if you're out there watching or listening or tuning in, give us a text, 505-701-2222, or message us on YouTube. You got some text?
Finally
right.
got it.
All
It's
right.
our guy, Brian Sanders, listening in. On my way home, rooting for the Lady Tigers. Good to hear from you, buddy. And our good friend H.J. Wright tuning in says, you guys are doing a great job. You know, I wanted to tell another funny story about H.J. I've never seen this in baseball or softball in my life. And we were playing in a fast pitch tournament, and H.J. hit a ball so hard in men's fast pitch softball, it snapped the metal bat in half. I've never seen that happen in my life.
H.J.'s a stud.
He was. That guy, you want to talk about a blue chip, all right? You guys can make fun of me. A blue chip athlete coming out of Farmington. That was H.J. Wright, no doubt about it.
Oh, and there's that outside corner of the plate. Mouse up at the plate to the right fielder, and this is her first at-bat in this game. And we are in the top of the 3rd. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2.
She must have been fooled on that because she swung way late on that one.
Yeah, she was behind on that one for sure.
And that fastball went right by her. Here you go. There's a waste pitch outside for ball 1. So 1-2 the count. On Grace, hitting in the 9 spot. As Steven mentioned, it's her first at bat. It's an 8-0 lead for the Lady Tigers. Oh, you know, Steven, that's the pitch right there. That was a fastball. Henry just muscled it up and said, here it is, right across the heart of the plate. Let's see what you could do with it.
Grace did a great job of staying alive. Like, she swung at that. You got to swing at that pitch, and she fouls it off, but she stays alive to look at another pitch. As Miyamura Henry will step back on the rubber. Here comes the pitch. Ooh, and that was going to be inside for ball 2. So 2-2 the count. And that's a dangerous one right there because that umpire's been calling that inside pitch.
Sure
like that.
was.
So wind up and pitch from Henry. Oh, right down the middle. And that'll be fouled off to keep the count at 2-2. So as Miyamura Henry getting a job done with 6 strikeouts already on the day. And good job by Nouse to fight back in this count as it's now a full count here for Grace. And I think I'm saying that Nouse, right? Nouse?
I'm hoping that's right. There's a ground ball to third base and just missed it. The third baseman, hey, she was in the right spot to field it. It just took a funky hop off the dirt, and that's going to be E5, unfortunately.
Well, it took a hop, and from my point, you could see it spun right off the top of her glove. It was spinning crazy, and it just goes off of her glove and around her. So that'll put Grace Nouse on first base and bring up the top of the lineup, number 8, Sydney Karani, the catcher, as she is 1 for 1 on the day. She had that first single of the day.
That's right. She's got a stolen base as well. And, man, did Nouse find somehow, some way to get on that a bigger at-bat for Albuquerque Academy up to this point. They've been really reeling right now offensively. There's a ground ball to second baseman, yellow tag. Here's a double play. Did she get it? She got it.
Wow.
Unassisted double play. And That is what I've been talking about. Yellow over at second base. She is just a baller for the Tigers. Fields it out front.
And then 4-3 out number 2. So unassisted scoop and tag for out number 1, and then she gets the 4-3 out number 2 as well. And now we've got number 10, Sam Walker, the center fielding, coming up to the plate. As there's now 2 outs here in the top of the third. There's a swing and fouled right back at us, made me dodge the ball there. So
you know, I don't care who you are. If that ball comes straight back at you at the backstop, you're moving.
It makes you flinch.
You're gonna blink your eyes or flinch, so don't worry about it. But it is a 0-1 count, 0-2 count, as that was an off-speed pitch. Walker was right there, just missed it with 2 outs. This is a big spot for Walker, as Albuquerque Academy needs something, anything, but Henry has just been amazing thus far. Here comes a pitch, swung on. That was a fastball right down the heart of the plate. Foul ball. Did it get caught?
No,
or did she drop it?
She dropped it into the.
Couldn't see it. I'm cut off over here, so I was hoping you were going to call it.
It's right in line with the poles right here. I couldn't see what happened, but she did miss it because I saw the umpire go like this. So,
but I'm assuming she should have.
It went. I think it hit her glove and went in.
Okay.
She was running into the dugout. It was one of those.
Well, she came over here shaking her head and had her hand on her hat and stuff. So
it did hit her glove. It did hit her glove.
So she should have caught it then. Is what probably what it is. Hey, you know what's crazy is these two teams have never played each other before. Big strike out there, a swing and a miss by Walker, trying to give herself an effort, every best chance she could to get on base. But Henry with the off-speed pitch struck her out.
So no runs on, no hits, no runners left on, and no Aztec errors. And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 strikeouts for Henry. But in that inning, she got some help from her defense as Cheyenne Yellow with a great double play by herself. So not only is Kimora Henry getting it done in the circle, her defense is helping her out on the backside.
Well, just when you thought Albuquerque Academy was getting something moving, Steven, getting a little momentum because it's been all Aztec. A huge play by Yellow, and that wasn't an easy play she made. She had to backhand that, tag the runner out, come in at second, and then get the throw to first in enough time. But what we didn't mention is she had to throw it about 100 miles an hour to her first baseman. Great job by Casey Phillips to keep her eye on the ball coming in there hot from a short distance.
Yep. Man, Aztec looking sharp as they were ready to play this game, as they've been practicing 2 weeks straight. And they don't look like they've missed a beat. And folks, I hope you guys are enjoying what you're seeing up there on the cameras. We got Ben O'Gean running the switch here. Brody's helping out on the camera side.
View,
and we hope you guys are enjoying the views as we got that center field camera up so you can see the pitcher batter. And send us a text. Let us know you're out there watching, who you're watching, and where you're cheering from. 505-701-2222. Comes the pitch, swung on and missed for strike 1 as we have number 44, Christina Whitehorse, up at the plate now. She is 0 for 1. She struck out in the second inning. And I'm sure she got a hold of one that went way out on a foul ball, didn't she?
She did.
And she's going to foul that one off, so that'll bring the count to 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, and after batting all the way through the lineup, you know, Aztec right now, 8-0. They scored 2 runs. And then, you know, you get to the 5th inning, if you can hang on, that might be an early night for you. But I'll tell you, who's staying up there and battling still is
Priscilla.
up there battling still is Melissa Priscilla. I mean, they're down 8-0. You couldn't tell. She's just showing no emotion in the circle. She knows she's got a job to do. She's facing a very tough and brutal lineup in the Aztec Tigers, Lady Tigers, and just no emotion up there. She knows she's got to keep composed because she's got a job to do for her team and the Lady Chargers here up against the Lady Tigers. Not the easiest thing to do.
No, I mean, pitching against this team is got to be exhausting because, I mean, she's trying to throw every pitch she has, and they're just going after just about everything, and that's going to be fouled off, as that'll bring the count to 1-1. We have 1 out, and the score is 8-0 as we are now in the bottom of the 3rd inning of the state playoffs.
Winner will play tomorrow at noon and then move on to the playoffs, and the team that does not come out on top in this game will head home, and their season will be over. That's an 0-2 count now as Justice takes a hack, and Priscilla is hammering the outer half of the corner on this left-handed hitter, and Justice. So a great job by Priscilla, still battling up there in the circle, and got her another fastball up high and outside to strike her out for out number 2, 2 back-to-back strikeouts.
Well, that will bring up Alexin Candelaria. She is 1 for 1 on the day with 2 runs scored, correct? She got hit by a pitch in the second inning.
Yep, that's right. She is 1 for 1 and 2 runs scored and a base stolen. Ground ball to first baseman, foot race. Oh, she got her barely. Candelaria almost made it, but it was the unassisted out by the first baseman for out number 3.
Well, and that's no runs on no hits, no runners left on, and no Academy errors. But what I was going to say, that's exactly what Academy needed right now, was to have a good inning where they went 3 up, 3 down. Priscilla comes out, gets a couple strikeouts. That helps with your confidence a little bit in the circle. And she threw the right pitch right there because it came off the handle of the bat, goes to the first baseman. They get out number 3. So that one was a good inning for the Chargers, and that will bring up 3, 4, and 5, as that will be Bella Swanson, Melissa Priscilla, and Brooke Dominguez starting off here in the top of the 4th inning for the Chargers.
You know, for the Lady Tigers, you know, their defense, the last time we seen them out here, they had to work a little bit. You know, it was 2 games, 2 teams. Bloomfield knew them pretty well, and then after they won that game against Bloomfield, it was a 2-week sit-down for them. Literally 2 weeks.
Yep.
And yesterday, you don't see this a whole lot, but Coach French has got his team rocking right now, Stephen. He was out here. They were facing Henry in live practice yesterday.
Yes.
And what better pitcher to face coming in to play against Albuquerque Academy, and then whoever wins the Goddard Miyamura game tomorrow at 10 a.m. So these girls are dialed in. Henry is one of the best pitchers in the state of New Mexico.
Absolutely.
So here we go. It's Bella Swanson, the shortstop for the Lady Chargers. She's 0 for 1, struck out her first at bat, and here she goes again. She will face Henry. First pitch down low and inside for ball 1.
Got our good buddy Jason over here on YouTube. He says, "What up, homies?"
Oh. What up, Jason? Love that guy. He's always supporting us big time. There's a ground ball to the shortstop, fielded out front. Big throw across the diamond, got her in time. 6-3 ground ball, out number 1, and a big arm, big time throw by the shortstop in Candelaria.
Man, great job by Candelaria. Charges the ball, gets her glove on the ground, and throws it over to first base for out. The pitcher, Melissa Priscilla, would sure like to help her team out if she could get something started here in the top of the 4th. Here comes the windup and the pitch, and that one's going to be high for ball 1. So Priscilla steps back into the box. Like I said, she had a nice inning, that last inning, and trying to see if she can't get something going for the Chargers. That one's going to be fouled off for strike 1.
Man,
so
she was
1-1.
right on top of that, wasn't she?
Man,
big swing.
Just a little bit different position with her bat, and that thing could be out to the fence. So it came right off the end of her bat right there. That one's going to be high for ball 2.
You know, she likes to change that eye level, does Henry, on the outer half of the plate. She'll get that fastball. That is quite live. Henry throws really hard. You get that outer half fastball up in the zone. That's a tough pitch to hit right there. There it is again on the outer half of the plate, swung on and missed for strike 2. So Henry, you know, and that's what you've seen between Henry and Priscilla. They've really attacked the inside and the outer half of the plate. There's been a couple of missed pitches right over the heart of the plate. Aztecs made them pay for it. There's another pitch swung on and missed, but again, Stephen, Henry just throwing that right over the plate.
Yeah,
really challenging them.
And she's driving these batters crazy. I mean, those pitches, they look so hittable, and then they just end up being just in the right. She's hitting her spots well, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're spot on with that. So Henry really dialed in here in the first 4 innings, 3.5 innings at least in this game. And again, there's that high fastball on the outer half of the plate. offense with her pitches with an 0-2 with that high fastball swung on and fouled off.
Oh, inside of the plate, inside corner of the plate, and that will be scooped up and thrown over to first for the 5-3 out number 3. So no runs on no hits, no runners left on base, and no Aztec errors. That was 3 up, 3 down, as the Aztec Lady Tigers will be heading into the bottom of the 4th inning with an 8-0 lead.
Well, what I like to see on that play was Casey Phillips, the first baseman. The ball was thrown high and wide left. She did not panic, Stephen, kept her foot on the bag, stretched out as far as she could go to haul the ball in and stay out of the runner's lane. Great job by the first baseman and Casey Phillips to catch that throw. And, yeah, as you mentioned, Aztec now coming back to the plate, and it's going to be 2, 3, and 4. It's Yellow, Bradshaw, and Henry. That is a very tough part of Aztec's lineup, as you've got all 3 of these girls there are 3 for 3. 1 for 2, but did she come through in a big way? Yellow had 3 RBIs the last at bat, and that's what this young lady brings, just that hard-nosed toughness when she steps into the plate. Like, nothing ever scares her, and you can tell when a hitter is just off, Steven. You never see that in Yellow's body language, ever. So here we go. It's going to be the bottom of the 4th inning, and Yellow will step into the batter's box, still facing Priscilla. And that, yep, go ahead. That was a
good
beauty.
Pitch.
Right down the middle.
Yeah, that was a nice looking pitch from Priscilla. Cheyenne Yellow watches it go by. Here comes the next one. Oh, and that was in the same spot. Big hit over the center fielder's head. So that is going to be a stand-up double for Cheyenne Yellow.
She did not miss that pitch. And again, unfortunately, Melissa Priscilla put that fastball right over the heart of the plate. And you cannot make that mistake against an excellent hitter in Cheyenne Yellow. And now it don't get any easier. Well, now you got to face Bradshaw.
Well, I was going to say that Cheyenne Yellow was wishing she had that other pitch back, and then she put the next one right in the exact same spot and gave her another chance at it. And she gets the double. So here comes it's going to be popped up high. That'll probably be, F6 out number 1 as that comes off the top of the bat for Bradshaw. And that will bring up number 8, Kimura Henry, who is 1 for 2 with a run scored and an RBI.
You know, and what we've seen out of Henry, Steven, she is probably one of the best big-time hitters in positions where people are on base that Aztec has. That she is that good at the plate. High fly ball, and that was thrown right in on the hands of Henry. She fell for it. Priscilla put her pitch exactly where she wanted it to be, and that's out number 2.
And that'll bring up number 24, Casey Phillips. She is 1 for 2 on the day with 2 RBIs. So putting her in a position again as she has Yellow over there on second to see if she can't drive in another one. And she's going to hit that one to the second baseman. She's going to scoop it up, and that'll be 4-3 out number 3. But that was a nice job as she got her glove down, got her body in front of the ball, because that thing kind of popped up out of her glove, but she had her hand over the glove. She had to scoop it up, get it over to first base for out number 3. So no runs on 1 hit, 1 runner left on base, and no Chargers errors.
Well, what a play by Liliana Lafada, because that ball popped up on her at the last second. You know what allowed her to make that play, though? She had her glove out in front of her, so when it popped off her glove, it hit her right in the stomach. She's able to keep calm, grab the ball with her bare hand, not her glove, the bare hand, get the throw over to first base. Excellent mechanics for an infielder, and a great job by Lafada.
Yep. Outstanding job by the Chargers. They've had their last couple innings, they've really dialed it in and kind of fought back. You know, like those first couple innings were a struggle, but they've really calmed down and had some nice play here. And now they've just got to get their offense going. That's where they're struggling, which is easy for me to say whenever they're having to hit against Henry.
that is true. That's a tough thing to do. It's 6, 7, and 8 coming up for the Lady Chargers. That's Spratley, Haseron, and LaFata all coming up for the Lady Chargers. And it's going to be the left fielder, Addie Spratley, up first. She is 0 for 1, got on base in the second inning by an error by the first baseman. And so she's still facing Henry, who has been throwing really strong with this 8-0 lead. Fastball up high and outside for ball 1.
I know, and Henry she always looks so relaxed out there. She just steps in and throws her pitches, hits her spots. And I'm still waiting. There's swung on and missed. She went down after that one. That'll be strike one.
Well,
I'm still waiting to see you step in the box.
I am. You think I'm joking about that? I'm ready to go.
I know you're not. I'm just ready to see it.
I just didn't want to do it yesterday while they were preparing for this big game, you know. But, yeah, on that last swing, Spratley was completely fooled. She thought it was going to be a fastball. It was an off-speed pitch that just dropped off the table. And here she goes. Swing on and a foul ball, so hanging tough is Spratley. And, yeah, just bear with us, folks. We got a little wind kicking in here, so you might see our camera move just a tad bit, but still an excellent angle. Here comes a pitch from Henry. Off speed. Oh, it was outside, so good call by the umpire.
That was
You guys can't hear our production guys talking to us in our ears, but there's a big swing and a miss for strikeout, out number 1. And so Henry, again, she tried to throw that pitch last time, Steven, but just missed it down low. Throws it again, was able to get Spratley on that off-speed pitch down on the lower half of the strike zone.
And that is strikeout number 9 for Henry, and that'll bring up number 14, Cecilia Hesseroon, and she's going to foul that one off down the first base line, and that'll be a long strike for strike number 1.
Well, she got a hold of that one for sure, just got around it late, so it's an 0-1 count with 1 out, but we'll see if the timing comes down for her here against Henry. But yeah, I was going through the stats. Albuquerque Academy and Aztec have never played before. This is their very first game that they have faced one another on. Wow. So no stats. That's a beautiful pitch on the outer half of the plate for strike 2.
I was waiting for the strike call.
Well, he's been consistent on the outer half.
Strikes.
0-2 the count here with 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Outside. Oh, swung on and staying in the game is Haseron. And that was a tough pitch, but Kalia was right on it. I mean, she got enough of it to stay alive.
Yeah, but she was if she gets out ahead of that thing, it's going to be a nice hit. But it was almost like she was either late on the swing or she thought about it at the last minute. Fouled it off down that first baseline. Here comes the pitch from Henry. Oh, she gets a piece of that. Ouch.
Oh, that bit the catcher just a little bit, and Lucio caught the tip of her fingers, and you can actually hear it hit her hand from pitcher and give her a couple of minutes to get her feeling back, but she looks like she's all right. That's how tough she is, Steven. Inside Goddard. Oh.
No.
Oh, called it a ball. 1-2. Whew. So here we go.
Oh, that's a dangerous one not to swing at because he's been calling that a strike. And unfortunately, it was not for her. So there comes another, and that one swung on. He got her swinging. So that is strike 3, out number 2. And that'll bring up number 18, Liliana LaFata, who is 0 for 1 as she had a strike. She struck out back in the second inning. And, man, Kimora Henry just stacking up those Ks as she gets another one. So 2 outs, no runners on here in the top of the 5th inning. Aztec leading 8-0.
I mean, we could probably take our video and send it to about every high school baseball team out there. There's an off-speed pitch swung on and fouled off on the last out she had on that ground ball because it was perfect mechanics out at second. We don't see that a whole lot in baseball.
No, we don't.
So here comes a pitch, high fastball swung on and fouled off. So again, see what I was talking about, that offensive pitch from Henry. She's been in an offensive count every single hitter she's faced in this game. 0-2, 0-2. And now she could come with some things out of the strike zone, see if she could get him to chase it. Right there.
Oh, she put it right on that inside corner for out number 3. No runs on no hits, no runners left on, and no Aztec errors. So we will be heading into the bottom of the 5th, and Academy's going to have to come in and shut Aztec down. If they pick up 2 runs, this game's over, correct?
That's it, yep. And for the Aztec Lady Tigers, 6, 7, and 8, Lucio, Kaiser, and Whitehorse all coming up to bat for the Lady Tigers. And we still have number 1, Melissa Priscilla, up on the mound pitching for the Albuquerque Academy Lady Chargers with an 8-0 lead for Aztec.
And Kimura Henry pitching a 1-hitter so far. That first batter of the game got a hit, and that's the only hit that Academy has had the entire game.
Just led off the game and punched it right out into right field, and that's been kind of it for Academy. And they are, as we like to say, they are running out of outs. And
yes, they are.
They've got to get something going and get something going quickly. And the way to do that is come out here and get Aztec 1, 2, and 3. Try to get a little bit of momentum going into offensively. But again, man, I mean, we try to say these things, but it's easier said than done against this powerful and dynamic batting order that Aztec has.
And we're not. It's not any disrespect to Academy. We've just seen Aztec play several times this season, and it's just every hitter that steps into the box, they're ready to go, and we just see them get after it when they're at the plate. And we have seen this young lady crush a couple as well, and that one is in there for strike 1 as Priscilla with a nice looking pitch, and Priscilla really has dialed it in this last couple of innings. She's really calmed down, and she's hitting her spots as well. So,
well, you don't have, as that's a outside pitch for ball 1. You do not have a 12-4 record. Being a school in Albuquerque, playing the schedule that these young ladies have played in Albuquerque Academy, and have a 3 ERA, run ERA, and not be as legit of a pitcher as you can find. And that one right there was the missed ground ball by the third baseman. Unfortunately, she had it in her glove. It popped out, but it was hit pretty sharp. And that'll bring up double zeros. That is Madeline Kaiser. And she is 0 for 2 on the day with a run scored. But, Priscilla is a fantastic pitcher, Stephen. That is meant to how good this offense is for Aztec. Because numbers don't lie. You like to hear that saying, right, all the time. Numbers don't lie to you.
Well, and for Priscilla, it's got to be a little frustrating, whenever you need your defense to help you out. You got to make out-on-out plays. And it wasn't that she charged the ball, but when she brought her glove up, it scooped up off and popped out of the glove. But that will be a runner on first with no outs here. And that's a bunt. No, it's going to be fouled off. Man, I thought that one was going to be good there for a second.
Well, I'll tell you this much. She's lucky that did not hit fair, because she would be out right now because that ball hit her foot. So it hit foul territory first, so good thing for Kaiser. She's going to have another opportunity with an 0-2 count. Here comes Priscilla, outside down low. Oh, wronged her up.
He's been calling that a strike, and you got to go after it. That's going to be out number 1. So with a runner on first and 1 out now, we have number 44, Christiana Whitehorse. She's 0 for 2 on the day, and she's probably a pretty dangerous hitter because she is due for a hit. And let's see what she can do now. She swings and misses. That was a great-looking pitch by Priscilla right there.
Well, we were worried, and talking to Coach French for Aztec High School, man, how do you think your girls, is it a bad thing they sat for 2 weeks and yada, yada? He said, no, man, there's a ground ball right back at the pitcher.
Play.
Beautiful snap off by Priscilla for the 1-3 ground ball out number 2, and really came through a big time there for her team. But, with this team here with Aztec and the schedule that they played, Coach Nick French was like, that's why we had that schedule. Like they were, I keep calling him Nick, Josh French. They were ranked, I think, number 1 early in this. Oh, I was like, that's the athletic director. He's messing with you.
Well, I saw that one go over the top, and I was like, I wonder if that hit my truck. Oh, swung on a miss. Nice pitch by Priscilla for strike 3, out number 3. So there's no runs on no hits, 1 runner left on base, and 1 error, Albuquerque Academy error. And so after 5 complete innings, the score remains 8-0, the Aztec Tigers lead as we'll be heading in. Pretty evenly matched game since the second inning.
Yeah.
It was those first 2 innings that really hurt Academy, but ever since then, it's kind of been back and forth. It's kind of been a pitcher's duel.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And I mean, Priscilla, you mentioned it at the last batter that she's really settled in. She's settled down, calmed down, whatever her nerves were, whatever was going on with her. She's fixed that and figured it out and settled in, because Aztec, I mean, since the second inning, that's the last time that they've scored a run. Steven, they've only had one runner on in the last 3 innings, or 2 runners on base in the last 3 innings. So, you know, Priscilla really dialed in. Let's see what the offense can do, though. The offense has got to get moving to help her out. She's thrown a pretty good game. She really has. I know the score's 8-0, but she's really thrown tough against this brutal lineup for Aztec.
Like you said, they're running out of outs. They've got 6 outs to get back in this game. And I say that, really, they've got 3 outs and then 3 outs, because you're going to have to hold Aztec these last 2 innings in order to have a chance. So, or really, I should say this inning.
Yeah.
Because they have 2 more at-bats.
Well, they scored 2 runs. You're right. This game's over.
Yeah, so number 11, Grace Nouse coming up. She got on an error in the third, and there's a swing and a miss for strike 1.
Yeah, she's 0 for 1. Off-speed pitch. Completely fooled her. She was way out in front on that swing. Here comes a pitch again. Another off-speed pitch. Change up high for ball 1. 1-1 the count on Grace as Aztec leads this game 8-0. They scored 2 runs in the first inning, 6 runs in the second, and she painted that on the outer half of the plate, on the lower half of the strike zone for strike 2.
That was a great looking pitch. I'm surprised she didn't take a hack at that one. So here comes, swung on and missed for strike 3, out number 1. And now we're back to the top of the lineup. Number 8, Sydney Karani, the catcher, and she is 1 for 2 on the day. She's the only one on the team that has a hit so far today, and it was her first at bat in the first inning, the very first batter of the game.
That's right. She count came up with a big hit. Fastball hit right back at the pitcher. Henry caught it. There's a throw in enough time. Popped right out of her glove. You kind of worried about it, but hey, Henry is cool as the other side of the pillow, as they used to say on ESPN with Scott. And she just took her time to pick it up and fire it on over to first.
Yep, so 2 outs, no runners on. Number 10, Sam Walker, the center fielder, 0 for 2 on the day, will step into the box.
Big at bat for Albuquerque Academy is, again, I mean, Henry just has that off-speed pitch that is dropping off the table into the lower half of the strike zone. These hitters are.
You've got to get some offense going, but Henry just throwing lights out today. Like I said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 strikeouts on the day. It's tough to compete when you're coming up against a pitcher like that. That one's going to be fouled off into my truck.
That's the first thought I thought too, man. When that went over the backstop and she took a hack, I was like, Steven's truck.
Mr. AD comes in telling me I had a ball through my windshield.
I'm shocked you didn't take the headset off just to go make sure.
I didn't care.
2-2. Here's a ground ball hit to the third baseman, fielded cleanly, rocket of an arm over the diamond, and it's a 5-3 ground ball out. Number 3, and the defense comes back through yet again.
3 up, 3 down, and I just wanted to say right there, did you see Christina Whitehorse? Picture perfect, got her hand of her glove, and when that thing bounced up, it went right to her hand, was able to get the ball over to first base. She didn't try to just stick her glove down there. That was great form. Good job for the out number 3. So Aztec, if they can pick up 2 runs here, this game is over. So Academy, and like I said, Priscilla, she's been throwing out lights out too since that third inning. I mean, she has just been money for the Chargers.
They've struggled. She's found the secret sauce here in starting in the third inning to the 5th. She's just found her stride.
Well, and the place that Academy is struggling is at the plate. I mean, they can't get any offense going, and you can't win games without offense. Priscilla has stepped up, and she started like you said, she's just been money since that third inning, and now she's going to have to continue to do that because they only have 3 outs left in this game, and that's if they can get out of this inning without any runs.
And she's a senior. Priscilla's a senior for Academy, so she'd like to get a couple of runs on the board and kind of continuously shut down Aztec as she has been doing up to this point. So here we go. We're at the top side of the lineup. It's the leadoff hitter, Candelaria, Yellow, and Bradshaw all coming up to bat, and we got Alexin Candelaria shot out into the gap. It's a base hit. And Aztec gets started quickly right off the first pitch, Steven. She wastes no time. And now she is 2 for 3 in this game is Candelaria.
Well, she did. That's exactly what she did on her first at bat. Took that first pitch.
That's right.
Right, the same spot almost out there into center right. And that's going to bring up Cheyenne Yellow, who had that huge 3 RBI double back in the second inning. And there goes Candelaria to second. Safe.
Well, she should have slid.
Yes,
but
that's exactly what I was going to say.
She changed her mind, and Yellow will let her run on down here. But again, Yellow in another big spot. She's got 2 back-to-back hits for the Lady Tigers, and she can find one over the heart of the plate. She's going to take it for a ride. She fouls that off down third base side. Takes the count to 1-1, but again, Yellow, such quick hands. You've seen that. That was a straight fastball by Priscilla on the inner half of the plate off her hands. Yellow was able to get her bat out in front and hit it right off the end of it, so that shows how quick her hands are at the plate.
Yeah, let's see. I mean, you have she would be the game-winning run right now if she can get on base. She's going to hit that off the end of her bat to the second baseman. And she is too fast. Wow.
Did I call it?
Yeah. Albert was in here waving his arms. Safe, safe, safe. Man, she sprinted down to first base. She is so fast, and that's going to be a base hit, and that's going to push Alexin Candelaria over to third. And, I mean, if you're Aztec, this is exactly where you wanted to be at this moment in the game, starting at the top of your lineup with all of these hitters coming up. Reagan Bradshaw looking to see if she can't
see, there's that cutoff by the shortstop to make sure that the runner from third doesn't take off. They'll gladly let Yellow steal second base, but, you know, like you said, Steven, now Bradshaw's got an opportunity with 2 runners on base, and you make a mistake on her, and she can make you pay. This young lady can crush at the plate.
Man, that's that outside corner for strike 2. You're right. If Bradshaw can get a hold of one right here, I mean, she hits this anywhere out into the outfield, the game's over.
That's right. I didn't even think about that. You're right, Steven.
They're bringing her. They're going home. You know that Josh is going to send Yellow.
Well, Yellow can fly, too, so
yeah.
Way outside, right call by the umpire. And, you know, in the umpire's strike zone has been fantastic tonight. I mean, it's been consistent. He's called the same strikes on both sides of the fence, inside and outside. Job well done, huh? I mean, I think he's done
absolutely.
a great job.
I mean, it's tough. It's tough being an umpire, especially I always tell everybody, I think all the umpires probably hate us because we put that center field camera up.
They do, man. They hate
you know,
that.
like they're the ones that got to stand out there and they got to make those calls, and it's not easy. It's easy for us to go back and look and see it, but it is not easy. You got to make those calls while you're out there. That one's going to be high for ball 2, so Bradshaw fighting back in the count.
Ooh, she started her hands, though. That was a high fastball that these players just love so much.
Looks good up there in that eyeball range, doesn't it?
2-2, though. Big pitch for Priscilla here. Here comes the windup from the circle. Fastball outside for ball 3. So full count on the hitter and Bradshaw. But, Steven, again, we mentioned this. Whatever happens with Bradshaw, it doesn't get easy because you're going to face Henry again. And we seen Henry crush one out into the trees back there. So there's a shot by Bradshaw into center field. It drops for base hit.
She's going to center. That's it.
This should end the game. Here's the throw by the should have slid, though. If she slides into home plate, she scores easily.
Yeah, I mean, you're right, because that throw, she didn't slide, and the ball was thrown perfectly for her to turn and tag. So that's going to be 6-2, right? Is that who threw that? It was 6-2.
Yeah,
right?
It's a short stop to home plate. So
that puts Bradshaw over on first. That's fielder's choice, right? But that was a base hit.
That's a base hit for Bradshaw. Yeah, hit out into center field. So it's going to bring up Henry, who is 1 for 2 in this game. Ground ball to the third baseman. Here comes the throw to first. She's off. back on.
She got back on.
Great job by the first baseman to find the bag as the throw pushed her off the bag.
Was that 5-3 or 6-3?
It was 5-3.
Okay.
And that'll bring up Phillips now, who is 1 for 3 in this game for the Tigers with an RBI. But, you know, for Yellow, she knows she should have slid. And if she slides, this game's over.
Yep.
Lesson learned, right? They're going to go back in the dugout, and they're going to tell her, you should have known to slide. There's a big fly ball onto right field. Should be F9 for out number 3. It is, and we're going to go to the top of the 7th inning.
So Academy stays alive. Aztec almost gets out with that hit by Bradshaw. I thought it was going to be a walk-off. Unfortunately, it was not, but there was a run scored on 3 hits and 1 runner left on base and no Charger errors. So that's going to bring us to the top of the 7th, and the Chargers have to pick up 9 runs to keep this game going. So they will have 3, 4, and 5. That is Bella Swanson, Melissa Priscilla, and Brooke Dominguez coming up to the plate. And
look at that shot, huh? How beautiful is that with
look at
those skies
look
and
at the
clouds
sky out there.
Grass is green.
Good job, Ben O'Gean, for giving us that shot. It's nice. We finally put I decided to set up a little screen here in front of us so we can see pitches and we can see what's up on the screen, what you guys are seeing, and it is nice for us to see what's going on. But folks, we hope you guys have enjoyed the camera views, the production value, and everything else that goes with that. We take a lot of pride in that. It takes us a while to get all this stuff set up. We were holding off on putting up a couple of our cameras because we thought the weather was going to roll in, and we got them up about an hour and a half before the game started, and that's how you're seeing those the view of the batters coming into the box. And it's been a lot of fun for us. You got any text messages or no?
I do not.
But Brody, you going to be with us tomorrow? All right, Brody's going to be back to help us run production. Ben has track, unfortunately, so we won't have him, but he'll be out coaching the kids.
Those long days, track meets are the toughest, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
There is no sport that's more exhausting than being at as a parent than track, and then it's going to be wrestling because it's just all day. Would you agree? I mean, it's 8 to 10 hours out there, and here we go. Henry looking to close this game out and move Aztec on to tomorrow for the noon game. That's a swing and a foul ball by Swanson, who's 0 for 2 for the Lady the Lady Chargers. I don't know why I was going to say Falcons, but
it's been a long day.
Man, I don't know why. We got set up great and everything was ready to go for us. So weather held up. Here comes a fastball on the inner half of the plate for ball 1. So this young lady in Swanson looking to try to get something going here in the top of the 7th inning because this is it if they do not. And their season will end here. But I got a feeling that Swanson's going to have something else to say about that, at least here right now at the plate. And Swanson, Steven, she is a senior. So this is it for her as well.
So she's 1 ball and 2 strikes. We're in the top of the 7th inning where, and that one got away from Henry as it comes out of her hand, slips out of her hand, and that'll be ball 2. So, like I said, the Chargers have 9 runs to keep this thing alive, and that's going to be a tall hill to climb against Henry. As the count is 2-2 now to Swanson. Here comes the pitch. High inside for ball 3. So
was not a bad spot, though.
Yeah. Well, it rises, and she's trying to get him to swing at that, either hit it off the handle of the bat or miss it, but that thing came in a little too high. Watching those pitches here, huh?
Full count. Swung on and fouled off by Swanson to stay alive. Still 3 balls, 2 strikes. But, yeah, Henry, talking about how dominant she's been at every game we've been to, Steven. She's been our Desert Sports Live co-player of the game every game we've done this season for Aztec. So that goes to show how dominant she's been. Fly ball to third should be caught. It is F5 for out number 1. So Aztec, Steven, 2 more outs away from moving on to the 12 o'clock game tomorrow. But more importantly, they win this game, they move on in the playoffs.
Yep.
So the 2 teams that win today and tomorrow morning.
Yes, we'll play at noon, and it'll be Goddard and Miyamura. We will be here for both games tomorrow, 10 and noon. So
or 10 and 12, yep, 10
and 12.
Yep.
So, yeah, so tune in to those games. Here comes the pitch. Oh, good-looking pitch in there for strike one.
And again, the winner of this game plays the 12 o'clock game, and the winner between Goddard, who's number 5, so that's one of the toughest teams in the state here in Aztec, taking on Miyamura.
Now it'll be fouled off for strike 2. 0-2 the count now to Priscilla, the pitcher for Academy. And, I mean, those first couple innings is what got Academy, but she really dialed it in after that. Here comes the pitch. That'll be fouled off. So keeps the count at 0-2. And, folks, like we said, we will be back tomorrow morning early. We got to get some stuff set up.
We always got to be here early. No sleep for us.
It's a good thing that Josh,
Meet us out here.
That's
early.
right.
Don't be surprised to see an off-speed pitch here down low and outside here at this next pitch. There it is. Outside. Didn't dive down like it typically does. But, yeah, we like to give old David Sweet, the athletic director, a hard time because he
deserves it. That's why.
He doesn't like to come out here early, but, he's out here all the time, so we'll give him a break. But Coach French was out here, and this field looks fantastic. He had it ready to go. Way outside, try to get her to chase, and why not when the count is 0-2. So 1-2 the count now, but Priscilla not biting.
Yeah, she was trying to give her a different look. She's fouled off a couple. Tried to get her going, but it was too far outside. So here comes the pitch from Henry. Oh, nice job by Cheyenne Yellow. Wow. I mean, she was just inches away from making the catch, but she gets her glove down there to stop the ball. That'll be 4-3, out number 2.
Well, you know what was amazing about that play, Stephen? A couple of games ago, we seen her really struggle fielding the ball out front. She was sitting down on the ground balls. She has worked that out. She's been putting the time in during practice. She's fielded every ball today out in front of her. Excellent play by the second baseman in yellow, and she's really had a fantastic game today for the Lady Tigers.
Yes, she has. Here comes the pitch. That's going to be that outside corner for strike 1. I mean, yeah, she had that 3 RBI double. Then she had the unassisted double play well, I should say was unassisted, and then the 4-3 for that double play. One's going to be outside for ball 1. She's had a big day, and then she just had that big out right there. That thing looked like it was going to sneak by and get out into right field, but
well,
man.
Putting the work in at practice. I mean, you could tell that she's really put the work in there. There's a line drive back into the middle of the field, and Henry just missed that.
Bradshaw makes the throw over to first, tries to gun her over at first. Wow.
Maybe trying to give us a little ESPN video there, Stephen. Maybe that da-da-da. Well, number 12, Addie Spratley, will step up to the plate. 0 for 2 in the game. She got on an error in the second inning, struck out in the 5th. The 5th. So she's got 2 outs, does Henry, and here we go. Looks at strike 1 in there. So, yeah, I mean, if it stays this way, I don't know how you don't pick Cheyenne Yellow and, of course, Kamara Henry for our Desert Sports Live player of the game, but there's a swing and a miss. And there's that pitch I was talking about, that off-speed pitch that has been such a lethal pitch for Henry. Down low, drops out of the zone. Such a tricky pitch to hit. 0-2. Let's see what she comes up with, Stephen. Got her. And that'll end the game. Aztec will move on.
3 out, number 3. Yeah, you're right. I mean, Kamora Henry with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 strikeouts. And ends the game right there on one of them. And then yet Cheyenne Yellow with a big day. So, I mean, you already said it. We both agree, co-players of the game, Cheyenne Yellow and Kamora Henry. I mean, what a day for the Aztec Lady Tigers. They'll be back tomorrow at noon to take on the winner of Miyamura and Goddard.
And we'll be back here to bring you the 10 a.m. game, as Steven just mentioned, the Goddard versus Miyamura game, 10 a.m. start time. We hope it doesn't start early, but if it does, we'll be prepared and ready to go. And any final thoughts, Steven?
Nope. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hope to see you guys back tomorrow on the stream, and we appreciate everybody watching and listening in, and we'll see you tomorrow.
All right. We want to wish Albuquerque Academy, their fans, their players, their coaches, a safe trip back home. God bless everybody. Thanks for rocking out with DSL, and we'll be back tomorrow at 10 a.m. We're out.